Alright, before I go, I will tell you these two cell phone companies, or what I'm saying, two companies battling each other for rights. Well, this is it. I'm using an HTC phone. Thank goodness that Apple, on the other hand, never playing the blame game on them. Well, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting when you buy two phones. So this phone is what I'm using is actually made in Taiwan. Well, HTC do their own stuff. Yeah. So this is about a battle between Samsung and Apple. The Galaxy, a Samsung look-alike. I mean, an Apple look-alike. An Apple iPhone look-alike. Of course, I seen these phones. The only difference, well, the Galaxy and the Apple iPhone is made in the same country. I'm just saying not made in the same country, but their final product is finished there. So this is kind of ridiculous when you're about to see two companies. Apple is based right here in America, in the United States. So while Samsung is a Korean-based company. So unfortunately, Samsung only makes 10% of their cell phones in Korea. But that's not just the case, but only specialty phones are like the 10% of that. The majority is totally made in China. Everything, even though Samsung have the biggest manufacturing of components and to make all the phones, 90% of the phones of Samsung are 100% made in China. As you know, they've heard that Chinese products are inferior quality. Yes, they are, and they do make them in China. Well, that's where they make all the components and the screen and everything else in China. Why China? Because just to sell by the bulk, just to sell their name. Well, Apple, in the other hand, use components. Yeah, actually, from Samsung still makes them in Korea, but only to an extent, only for Apple. But now, now that they are dedicated to their exclusive phones, so screw that. They don't want Apple knows what they're doing. They don't want Chinese components, Chinese crap. So what the hell are you gonna buy junk for? You're gonna pay money. You're gonna spend all your money on a piece of junk that at the end it won't work. Well, this is a Chinese-made piece of junk, but this Apple, their screen are made by Sharp. Sharp is from Japan. Aqua's technology. This is why Apple iPhone, still makes it's a good phone. Apple still makes a really great product. They're more resistible than Samsung. At least that's what they try to do. They use parts from LG. LG at least still makes most of their cell phones, just a few phones, but most of their cell phones, Android phones, smartphones in South Korea. Is based in Korea, but LG makes a little bit of a better product than Samsung. Samsung, on the other hand, makes the rest in China. All the components, everything is made in China, even the battery. So this is what it is about. Having a bar. This is what it is about these two companies. They're having corporate infringement, selling their Chinese-made garbage, 100% pure Chinese junk, saying that their claim that that Apple stole their idea. Yeah, even though Samsung do have a design center in China. So where is it, in Shanghai or something? They design their phones, the Galaxies and all this shit, before when it first came out. Yeah, it was great. They make them, but then after that, guess what? Let's make the rest in China. They send everything else to be made in China. Apple, on the other hand, use components from Sharp. Sharp makes their components in Japan. LG, once they used to use components from Samsung, when they used to still make them in their country of origin. Now that they make them in China, Apple decided not to get it in. They use components from Taiwan. Intel makes some products, some US parts. Actually, the majority is Japanese components and Korean components, mostly made by LG. Nokia, well, LG makes phones for Nokia, of course, in Korea, but let me tell you about it. If you don't freaking are like take away from this iPhone hype, get yourself a Motorola Droid. Motorola still make good phones, even though they use really good components. Motorola still a solid company. They use components from Japan, from Taiwan, from America. They put it together probably in Singapore, probably in China, but of course Motorola has years and experience in making phones. It's the oldest cell phone company. They're the first ones that come out with cell phones. So it is based in the US, thank God, of course, but it's not like Apple is number one. They outsold Nokia from Finland. So this is it. Why do they tell each other what Apple does is what they claim to be, even though they put the parts together in China, but you have components made by Sharp, made by some Panasonic and LG, of course, but the rest you might know it's put together in China, just the case is made in China. Inside parts are from Japan mostly, but this is what it is. Keep buying the iPhone if you love the iPhone. Forget the hype of the Galaxies. Galaxies are made in China. Yes, they are made in China, and 100% made in China. Pure Chinese components, even though Samsung do have factories in China to make components for their phones. And also what I'm talking about is that if you want to buy 100% Chinese phone, get a Huawei. Huawei is actually a Chinese company. Why? Because they're making them in China. All 100% of the components are from China, and guess what? They might have some parts from Japan and stuff, but actually Huawei is more original than Samsung is. Samsung is from Korea, but they make all their phones in China. So guess what? I think Apple could hear this, stop freaking copyright infringement, and guess what? Even some schmuck in Samsung in China get around and fake out the Galaxies. Look, guess what? There's other companies, they fake out Galaxies. It's true. It's easier. There's more fakes of Galaxies than it is of iPhones. iPhones, you have the same fakes. They come out at the same time. Well, what it is, just blame it on China, Chinese copyright infringement. They get copies of every phone made by every company, some more than others. In the other hand, Apple and Samsung are suffering from faking out their phones, but at least, Apple knows what they're doing. So I think that's it for my video. Probably see you next time in another video, and we talk about political bullcrap. You know, and this time it ain't political bullcrap. This time it's just phones. Samsung versus Apple in lawsuits. See you later.